more tea light announcement. One more tea light announcement. Everybody has one. We're going to begin. If you don't have a tea light, you could raise your hand, and maybe there's some people walking around, I saw with baskets. But it looks like everybody's got their tea light. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We're about to begin our celebration of life for Gina Pellettiere and B. Ferrari. Welcome. So nice to see so many of you here this evening. Before we begin, I'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Our flag, if you would face the flag, is over by the scoreboard. Put your hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, students, teachers, administration, parents, and members of our Farmingdale community. My name is Greg Warnikowski, the very proud Director of Fine and Performing Arts here in the Farmingdale School District. I am honored to share the stage tonight and welcome the Pellettiere family and the Ferrari, Aldieri, Lopresto family. Let's give them a nice round of applause. Tonight, we gather in somber unity, yet daler strong, to remember and honor two extraordinary individuals, our high school band director, Gina Pellettiere, and our band camp chaperone and retired Farmingdale teacher, B. Ferrari. Their sudden departure from our lives has left an unfillable void in our hearts. Our thoughts and prayers extend to all the students, teachers, chaperones who were on their way to band camp that day, and especially those who were on bus 1, who were injured and still recovering. And also to all the students, teachers, and parents who experienced the trauma of that tragic day. May they continue to heal physically and emotionally. Gina Pellettiere, our cherished band director, was more than just a teacher. She was a force of nature, a larger-than-life personality who led our pep band and marching band with infectious enthusiasm. She danced like no one was watching when leading her pep band and marching band, and conducted her wind ensemble and jazz band with such animated intensity, inspiring us all to embrace the music within our souls. Gina's band room was not just a space for music, it was a sanctuary where every student felt welcomed and included. Her legacy lives on in the safe haven she created for us all. B. Ferrari, our dear chaperone and retired Farmingdale teacher, graced us with her presence at band camp for 30 years, earning her the endearing title of Band Grandma. Her warm smile and unwavering support endeared her to everyone she met. B took pride in chaperoning, especially as her grandchildren became part of our band family. Her kindness and dedication will forever be etched in our memories, especially when we remember her proudly zipping around the camp in her golf cart known as the B-Mobile. As we mourn the loss of these remarkable women, let us remember their smiles that could light up any room. Let us hold on to the lessons they taught us about passion, inclusivity, and the power of a warm, welcoming spirit. In this time of profound grief, let our collective daler strength be a beacon of hope for one another. It's together we will cherish the memories of Gina and B and ensure their legacy lives on in the music and unity they inspired. I think it's only appropriate right now that we have a thunderous, loud round of applause for these two incredible women, Gina Pellettiere and B. Ferrari. At this time, I would like to bring to the podium B's grandson and member of the marching band, Luke Aldieri, who has a few words.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Luke Aldieri, and I'm a trumpet section leader for the marching band. My brother, Andrew, was a drum major for the band, and he graduated last year. He had to go back to college this weekend, and he couldn't be here tonight, so I'm speaking for the both of us. Mrs. Ferrari was my grandma, and I would like to share some fun memories of her. Words cannot express how much my grandma meant to me and the impact she had on my life. From watching me when I was little to helping me with homework, she was always my #1 supporter. I know that she always thought of me, and she was always there for me when I needed her. And even if I didn't, she was there to give me a big hug. You all may remember her from band camp. It was really awesome to see my grandma zip around in a golf cart all around Pine Forest. But not only that, she helped us, and many of you may remember her being there when you needed it. If you were missing home or just exhausted from marching all day, she was there to give you a smile, make you laugh, or give you a ride back to your cabin. She was a proud Daler and wanted to be there for us, even if just for a weekend. Not many kids are so lucky to have their grandparents live right next door. Every Monday and Tuesday, she would have me and my brother over for dinner. She was the best cook, and her chicken cutlets and meatballs were legendary. When my brother Andrew was 5 years old, my grandma snuck him into the band room at the high school to say hello to Miss P. Miss P enthusiastically let him play the trumpet, and he fell in love with it. He went on to play the trumpet later in life, and I fell in love with it too. My grandma loved when I played the trumpet and enjoyed hearing us play together. One of my grandma's biggest highlights was last year when me, my brother, my mom, and my dad were all at band camp together with her. She really enjoyed spending that time with us, as she looked forward to band camp every year. Many of you guys may remember my dad riding around his mountain bike at band camp, and he even raced my grandma in the B-Mobile. Now, my dad's pretty fast on the bike, but he lost. Speaking of the B-Mobile, I remember so many of my friends running up to her after marching and competing for a seat to get a ride. She would happily give everyone a lift and made sure that everybody got a turn. Her presence helped make band camp fun. I have the best memories with her, and although I will miss her dearly, she will always live in my heart. Mimi, I love you so much, and thank you for everything that you've done for us. Thank you.
And at this time, I would like to invite to the podium Gina's brothers, Danny and Anthony Pellettiere.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Anthony Pellettiere. I'm the proud older brother of Gina. First and foremost, Luke, that was some tribute to your grandma. Just an outstanding young man. It's wonderful to see families that close. And to the Farmingdale community and everybody that supported our families, you guys are incredible. From the green ribbons out to the outpouring support at the funeral home, I just don't have any words to say. First and foremost, I'd like to offer my sincerest condolences to the Ferrari family. On behalf of my family, we'd also like to wish all the students who were injured a speedy recovery, and all the families and everybody in the community who was affected by this tragic accident, just all of our support. Gina was an amazing person. I learned so much about her that I had no clue about just within this past week. We all know she had a lot of pride, passion, and dedication. But like every great recipe, there's some other little ingredients that go in there to really make them outstanding. So in addition to pride and passion, she also had compassion. She had empathy, and she was humble. Gina traveled in some very interesting circles. She rubbed elbows with some great musicians. I heard a story once where she brought one of our relatives to Carnegie Hall, and she was welcomed with open arms by the people who were performing there. Very impressive. But what's even more impressive brings me back to her being humble. All you students out there, the way she was welcomed with open arms in Carnegie Hall by accomplished musicians, she welcomed all of you into her band room. Hey, come hang out. Let's have lunch in Mrs. P's room. Students who had difficulties trying to pick up the instruments, she encouraged you guys to keep on going. So that speaks volumes, and my hat's off to her for the person that she was, and hopefully she goes on and live in a lot of people's hearts as time goes on. They say that tough times don't last, but tough people do. This whole community is tough. Our families are tough. As time goes by, we're going to learn or try and heal, to forgive, to accept, but we're never going to forget. And that's all I ask. Please don't forget my sister. She was a great woman, a wonderful mother, daughter, and she's going to be greatly missed. Thank you, everybody.
Hello, everybody. I'm Gina's youngest brother, Danny. We're all 5 years apart. So I'm 5 years younger, and my brother is 5 years older than my sister. A lot of people say that we're identical, and we have like the same mannerisms and everything, so I heard I've been giving comfort to a lot of people. The thing about her is she made everything look easy. I tried to follow her footsteps, playing the trumpet. She just made it look so easy, I couldn't even, the teachers thought when I was coming up that they hit a home run with me. And I showed up, and they're like, wow, she did pretty good, right? She was pretty good. One thing I remember about my sister, very competitive. You see that with the marching band, where she always wanted to be the best. She always wanted to win. She always wanted the best for all the kids. And I think she brought the best out of everybody. Being her younger brother, she wouldn't let me win a thing. And I think that's a good thing. It made me a little bit more resilient, just like she was probably hard on everybody here to make you guys all better people also. I could go on and on. There's a lot. There's a couple of quick stories I just want to share. My sister's life could have took a different turn. We went up to Potsdam, the Crane School of Music. We took a long family trip up there. And man, that place is far away if you guys haven't been up there. We were driving up there, it was a snowstorm, trees were falling down. My mother said, Gina, if you go here, we're not coming to any of your concerts. My sister is a very family-oriented person, as you all learned. I think that one trip is what decided her to go to Hofstra. Yeah. And I think going to Hofstra was one of the best decisions that she's ever made, because it landed to her here in Farmingdale, her dream job, where all the stars aligned. The marching band program, my sister was in drum corps. She did marching band in high school. She was a drum major in high school. Wind ensemble, she always was trying to be the best, and she took classical music very seriously. Hopefully a lot of you know that she's very into 90s music, right? And 90s music will still be the best. I think that's better than any classical music out there. Yep. And one quick story, you all heard about the time she went through the window to get the job in Farmingdale. Apparently, the world knows it now. That was unbelievable. And everyone says you can't say no to Gina, okay? There was plenty of instances where I couldn't say no to Gina, but the one that sticks out is marching band. She would have me sneak up to the roof of the Hofstra Stadium with a VCR recorder and record you guys marching, right? And I've done this probably 4 or 5 years in a row, and it was freezing, and I had to escape security and everything. It was it was not fun, but I did it for her, and everyone, whoever said no to Gina, you know, you got to say yes. You can't say no to her. One of the things is, I said, Gina, they have cameras everywhere. They record this stuff. And she told me, but it takes too long. I want it right away. And then she would bribe me. You say, you do a better job than anyway. That's what she would say. But I'm going to miss my sister dearly, as I know all you guys are too. And just hang in there, and the show must go on. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Daniel and Anthony. And at this time, I'd like to bring to the podium Mrs. Diane Pellettiere. Come on down, Mrs. Pellettiere. Yes, and Mr. Pellettiere.
Thank you all. It's just unbelievable to see the outpouring of love for our Gina, who all of us will miss tremendously. But I just wanted to share with you, because I can't talk as long as my sons. This was on Gina's nightstand, and this is what she looked at every morning when she woke up. So I'll read it to you what this says. Today is mine. It is unique. No one in the world has one exactly like it. It holds the sum of all my past experiences and all my future potential. I could fill it with joyous moments or ruin it with fruitless worry. If painful recollections of the past come to my mind, or frightening thoughts of the future, I could put them away. They cannot spoil today for me. So these are words that Gina lived by. She was a very determined woman, a beautiful, loving mother to her baby, who my heart breaks for, that he's not going to experience her. And I felt that way of our freshman students coming in. They only know her for a few weeks. And you know what? We're all gypped. It's a terrible thing, but hopefully she will move on with this department, and all of the upperclassmen could teach the younger ones what she taught them. Thank you all for your time and for coming out and supporting all of us. We love you all, and good luck to everyone here. She would have loved this. She would have loved it.
So, thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Pellettiere. I know that Gina and B would love to hear some music at a ceremony such as this. So at this time, I'd like to invite our string quintet to the stage. Therese Benino, our high school orchestra director. Vincent Aposidano, Julietta Ryan, Ryan Loughlin, and Seamus Vereline. And as they're gathering their instruments, they're going to play a beautiful string quintet, a piece called Invocation by Christoph Willibald von Gluck. So we'll give them just a moment to get their instruments and get settled on stage, and they will perform for you. That was absolutely beautiful. Please stand and take a bow. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for our string quintet. Beautiful. Okay, as we have our instrumentalists exit the stage, at this time I'd like to invite our drum majors from our marching band to come forward. And we'll just line up for 1 second. We'll let them exit the stage first. Thank you so much, Miss Menino. Okay, I'm not in exact order with the names, but you're going to stay in that order when you come up. So all of our drum majors, we have James Norris, Alessandro Chavarria Fuentes, Annalise Callahan, Kelsey DiMaria, Olivia Macholi, Teresa Schmidt, and Ava Monteleone. I'd like to invite you all to the stage.
Hi, everybody. My name is Annalise Callahan. We're here to remember and celebrate the astounding life of Miss P. She continues to inspire me with the overwhelming amount of people whose lives she touched. And standing up here, that is a clear example because there are so many people here. Though it is very difficult to imagine a world without her, may we find comfort in the belief that she is now a part of the wind guiding us forward. Miss P's constant lesson for her students was to always push yourself, and if you had to, fake it till you make it. Miss P's legacy is a reminder that her glowing spirit remains, and she will be greatly missed, and we love her dearly. But her dedication and her passion will live on in all of us as we continue to honor her in every note we play.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming tonight to honor the memory of Miss P and B Ferrari. My name is Teresa Schmidt. This past week has been very hard for both the Farmingdale community and all of Long Island. The entire Farmingdale marching band was so excited for another year at band camp, but it was cut short due to the horrible accident that took both Miss P and B. They were such important role models in my life, and there are two people that I will never forget. Ever since I was a freshman, Miss P has always believed in me. Miss P was my favorite teacher at the high school, and I would wish I had more time with her, but I'm happy that I was able to get these 4 years with her, and I will never take those for granted. She was a very important person to many people, and we will all miss her so much. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kelsey DiMaria, and I'm one of the drum majors here at the marching band. Thank you all for gathering here tonight to celebrate the lives of two amazing women, Miss Gina Pellettiere and Mrs. B. Ferrari. When I first met Miss P, I was still an elementary school trumpet player, but her energy and infectious cheer at the football games excited me to be in the Farmingdale band program. Watching my older sisters learn from Miss P was such an inspiration for me. So I practiced hard and did everything I could do to one day be part of her band. Transitioning from middle school to high school, I knew that I would already had a home with Miss P in the band room. Once I got into wind ensemble, I had already knew the hype I had witnessed was so real. Miss P always knew how to make a day better, and everything from a venti black cold brew from Starbucks and finally perfecting the third trumpet part of Machu Picchu. Each rehearsal was filled with passion, laughs, and some really incredible music. And yet, after all of her hard work during the day, Miss P still made sure each student knew that they were a valued member of the band and the band program. Miss P has been there for me during my lowest lows and was my biggest cheerleader during my highest points. She believed in me and pushed me to become the best trumpet player, the best drum major, best leader, and best friend I could be. And I will always aspire to make her proud by continuing to fuel the flame she started in me. To my classmates and my teachers, we're the most incredible band family the state has to offer. And I know that Miss P and Mrs. Ferrari will always watch over us with the most love imaginable. We will heal as a family and continue to make music forever in their honor. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is James Norris, and while there are hundreds of words I could say about Miss P and Mrs. Ferrari, about how amazing people they were, I would like to share one of my stories with Miss P that I got to experience. In 9th grade, my freshman year, I was practicing my solo for that year's NISMA Solo Festival after school. As I'm playing my solo, going through it, Mr. Abrams, one of our band directors, comes up to me and listens to me play the solo. While he is impressed by how I'm doing, he had a fair amount of critiques and made me replay a couple parts over and over again. As he walks away, I see Miss P, who this is the second time I've ever seen or spoken to, come up and ask to hear me play. I'm gonna be honest, that time, whether I was just nervous or tired, I did not play the solo very well. But as soon as I finish, I look up at her, and with a big smile on her face, she says, "Dude, that was awesome." As she says that, I feel a weight lifted off my shoulders, because throughout my time with her, even if I didn't sound perfect or didn't believe in myself, I knew she always believed in me. That solo was also what got me into her wind ensemble, where I got to make some of the most beautiful music I've ever performed in my life. For that day and all the memories that both of these women have given me, I say thank you.
Good evening. My name is Alessandro Chavarria Fuentes. I would like to send my condolences and prayers to the students, faculties, and families affected by this tragedy, and to the families of Miss P and Mrs. Ferrari. Tonight, we are here to celebrate the lives of two inspiring and unforgettable individuals. Although I did not get the privilege and honor to know Mrs. Ferrari personally, I've heard all the fantastic things about her, making her very special to the Farmingdale community. Mrs. Ferrari loved the marching band and had always wanted to be involved, which shows by the numbers of years she has dedicated to band as she chaperoned countless band camps. We are thankful for all her years with the marching band. We are also here to celebrate the life of an extraordinary person who has touched so many lives here in the Farmingdale community. Miss P had such a fiery spirit for music and could show it in every performance and every rehearsal she conducted. She was a true inspiration to many people who love music and wanted to share that love with others. Miss P was the happiest and the most joyful person who always gave her all for everything we did, whether it was marching band, pep band, or concert band. Although our beloved Miss P and Mrs. Farr are no longer with us, they are both at peace now, and we will continue to carry on and remember the legacy forever. They will forever live in our hearts here at Farmingdale High School and in the Farmingdale community. Thank you.
Hello, friends, family, and all members of Farmingdale. My name is Ava Monteleone, and I'm the head drum major here at Farmingdale High School, and this is Olivia Masholi, also another drum major. We all thank you so very much for coming to support our community and celebrate the beautiful lives of Miss P and B. Ferrari. This year, as we loaded the buses for our departure to band camp, Miss P's bright smile pierced through the crowd. "Let's take a drum major picture!" She happily wrapped her arms around me and held me close. Her smile was so big, I could almost feel it touching my face. But it always was. That big, warm smile reminded us all of who she was. Her smile was radiant and relieving. Miss P was the most compassionate and free-spirited human being I've ever been acquainted with. She was the face of the music department here at our school, and not a day went by where we weren't in her office, seeking advice or sometimes just for a laugh. Her soul was kind, and she spread her joy to all kids in the school, even if they weren't her own. 2 years ago, as a meek little sophomore going to band camp for the first time, I would have laughed in your face if you had told me I would be in the position I am today. Without the constant support and kindness Miss P showed me, I wouldn't be the leader I am today. And not today, a week ago when we were having a moment in Miss P's office, her office was so beautiful, and we all found this note. I don't think any of us have ever noticed it before, but I think it's from baby Joseph's daycare, and I think it's fitting, and it just really brought us joy seeing it on her desk, so I want to read it. It says, Don't worry about me. I'll be okay. I'm making new friends and learning to play. So wipe away your tears, and here are some kisses from me to you. I'll be fine, and I'll see you real soon. Miss P is so very loved by her community. Although she may be gone, her legacy will live on forever through us, for she helped to raise us all into the people we are today. Thank you all so much for being here. Miss P, we will love you and miss you eternally.
Yes, one more round of applause for all our drum majors. I always say the students say it best. You truly are amazing. And hearing all the band students in the days after this happened in the band room, talking with each other and remembrances, the maturity level of all of them is just astounding. Incredible, incredible students that we have here in Farmingdale. We are so blessed. And talented students. Okay, now, Ms. P loved brass chamber music, and Ms. P also loved being a lady brass player and a lady band conductor. So we're going to have our brass quintet do a beautiful piece entitled Amazing Grace. And this is going to feature our high school band directors, Matthew DeMasi, Dave Abrams, and we also have Anthony Malizia, Molly Angolia, and Jen Iovino. Ladies and gentlemen, Amazing Grace. What a fitting tribute to Miss P. That was for you. That was incredible. Thank you so much. Once again, a round of applause for our band directors, Matthew DeMasi, Dave Abrams, and Anthony Belizia, Molly Angolia, and Jen Iovino. Beautiful. Okay, at this time, I would like to bring to the podium, to the stage, our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Paul Defendini.
Good evening to our Farmingdale family. I would like to use this precious time together to thank each and every one of you, our Farmingdale family, for the unconditional love, support that you have shown to the Aldieri, Ferrari, Lepresto, and Pellettiere families, to our students that have and continue to face great adversity, and to our band camp staff and volunteers, all who have shown selfless acts of heroism during and in the aftermath of last Thursday's tragic bus accident in upstate New York. When faced with unspeakable tragedy, this community rallied to lift up those who needed it most. You brought food in the form of meal trains. You visited children and their families in upstate and local hospitals, and you wrote cards and loving messages. You traveled door to door to give free hugs. You volunteered your time to counsel those struggling to understand their emotions, and you organized fundraising events and raised money for families in need. When those 5 buses returned to Farmingdale High School, you helped reunite our students with their families. You decorated lawns, lit your porches green, and dropped off groceries. You, Farmingdale, represented the best that humanity has to offer. You represented yourselves in this community as Dalers, and others followed. Schools far and wide wore green and made videos to support our Daler community. They wrote letters and hung signs. The nation laid its eyes on our community, and it marveled at your compassion and your loving nature. In a time of great divide, you showed the world the power of unity. B and Miss P will forever be in our memory. They inspired us all with their enthusiasm and passion for the kids they served. Their passing, although untimely and tragic, reminds us of the impact we can have on the people that we let into our little worlds. I am both professionally and personally broken that future generations of Daler youth will not get to experience the joy that comes from being in the presence of our 2 angels. The hurt is manageable because I know they are both looking down on us right now, and they are proud of each and every one of you. You embody the spirit of a Daler and the soul of our angels, and you proudly carry on that legacy that B and Miss P left behind. I am often asked, what is a Daler? I have never been able to fully answer that question until tonight. I have tried, but my answer always seems to land a little short. Tonight, the answer to that question is obvious. And I think it's obvious to everyone here tonight. Looking out at this crowd, knowing what you have done in service to others, the answer is uncomplicated. What is it, Daler? We are. We are Dalers. And as a husband, a father, a son, a friend, a coach, and a humble helper to this Farmingdale community, I can say without any pretense or reservation that I love our Daler family, and I look forward to all the days that are to come where we can continue to make our angels proud. I look forward to continuing to show the world what is possible with unconditional love and compassion. Thank you. God bless B, God bless Miss P, and God bless each and every one of you. I thank you so much for everything that you've done from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to turn this celebration over to Mr. Warnikowski, but know that I thank every one of you for what it is that you've done. Our students alike, you are rock stars. We love every one of you. Thank you.
And Mr. Defendini, we appreciate everything you have done. Thank you so much for all that you do for us here in Farmingdale. Another example of a Daler. Okay, at this time, I'm going to ask everyone to turn their tea lights on. And while you're turning your tea lights on and candles on, I ask the chorus to take their places right in front here, facing the audience. So gather around, chorus. And I ask for the lights to be turned out here in our stadium. So if we can get our lights turned off while our chorus assembles. We also want to invite alumni, chorus alumni, and music teachers to feel free to join them if you know the words to Blessing. So if anyone is out there that is chorus alumni and knows the words, any music teachers, anybody would like to join them, please don't be shy and come on up. Okay, we'll hold our candles up, raise them to the heavens as Mrs. Tucker will conduct our chorus. Yes, please come on up.
May
Absolutely beautiful performance, a blessing. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, our Farmingdale community, once again, for all of your support. You have been incredible. It's been said so many times during this ceremony, we are Dalers strong, and we certainly are. Just looking out at this crowd, we're all here for each other, and I know that Miss Ferrari and I know Miss P would want us to continue with the music that they cherished and loved so much, and they would love to see us perform and continue their legacies. So thank you for being here tonight. Please get home safe, and we'll see you at one of our next performances. I guess that would be Homecoming this Friday. So good night, everyone, and thank you so much to our families here on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, one more huge round of applause for our Pellettiere family and our Ferrari, Algieri, and Lopresto family. We love you. We will always be here to support you. Good night.